This week, Asuka pulls double duty, Cody gets knocked the fuck out, and NXT limits the limitless. Welcome to the Full Nelson Press. Hello everyone and welcome to the Full Nelson Press. My name is Brandon Kirkpatrick. I'm here with my co-host Peter O'Brien. You can find him on Twitter at MVP360. You can find myself on Twitter at JohnnyJonny_Tango. And you can follow the Full Nelson Press on Twitter at TFNP. Pete, how you been, bud?
Yeah, we had to watch a lot of wrestling, so let's just get going. Let's get the ball rolling.
Well, before we get into it, man, I have to say, happy 75th birthday to the genetic jackhammer, Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yay!
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 Speaking of Vince McMahon, let's get right into AEW. Dynamite was the same night as NXT XXX, not starring Vin Diesel. This didn't feel like an event at all. It just felt like a regular Dynamite, which is fine. I just thought we were going to maybe get a little bit more.
It was supposed to be. Do you know that? Now, I know you're an AEW hater, so I'm backing up the AEW fans.
I'm not
yes,
hating.
You are.
I'm
yes,
just
you
criticizing
are.
them as much as I would criticize the WWE.
You can't have wrestling when the NBA playoffs go on. Like, with this whole bubble, they were like, whatever, we're going to go after.
Maybe do something a little bit special that night.
Are you kidding me with special? Do you even know what happened? Did you even watch?
Well, let's get into it. First match of the night is FTR versus Private Party. This is just a hot open, no entrances, which is fine. It's great to see FTR like actually in action and not like in an 8-man tag match. That's kind of cool.
They're good. They're good. Yeah. I liked it. It was enjoyable.
Who were they with? Tully Blanchard was with them? Blanchard?
Yes.
Yeah, I like that. That's kind of cool. I thought it was Elrig at first.
Yeah, no, I dig it.
Well, so after that, we get an amazing promo from Jon Moxley on his thoughts on MJF, which I really liked. After that, we got a really funny rebuttal with MJF doing his little presidential speech. And after that, we get right into the next match, which was the Butcher, the Blade, and the Lucha Bros versus Dustin Rhodes, QT Marshall, and the Jurassic Express.
It was fine because of what happened at the end.
Yeah.
The match was okay. Like, it wasn't big and groundbreaking. But what was happening is basically, like, them coming together, which I'm okay. Eddie Kingston's sweet. The dude is awesome on the mic.
I never knew who this person was.
He has passion. Like, what he's saying, I actually, like, sit there, I'm like, oh my god, like, this guy, like, really cares. And he's really putting it over. I dug it. I'm sorry, I dug it. I thought
I had to Google him. I was like, who is this motivational speaker? Like, what is this?
Well, you don't watch AEW. Folks, are you hearing that? Yeah, I'm calling you out. I don't care.
That's fine. I said I didn't know who he was. I get it.
You don't know. Well,
because I only started watching Dynamite regularly since we started the show back up in January. I don't know if I've seen him at all.
Yeah, he came back that night.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So, yeah, get off my ass.
Whatever.
Brian. Oh, man. I'm already heated.
Well, you should be.
A nice little fun exchange between Orange Cassidy and Jericho.
Love it.
Yeah, that was fun. And then we have the Elite versus 3 Dark Order random members. This was cool, but Omega just snaps again. Like, I don't get this. Every single time the matches end, you see someone has a kerfuffle with someone else in the Elite every time.
Well, because they're the leaders, like, they created it, so people are always going at it. But the best part is no, this is great because Omega needs to turn heel. And if he's going super heel like he was in New Japan for a little bit, dude, this is awesome. Like, him turning like that is great. Like, I am on board. The Young Bucks are the Young Bucks, whatever. The Elite, I hope they break up. I hope Omega and Hangman, like, I think that's going to be the big thing, the big tipping point. I dig it. And also, it's almost like Omega is going to go off on his own, and Hangman could, like, kind of hang around FTR, which is awesome.
I agree with you.
Sense.
I think FTR and the Hangman work better than Hangman and Omega do. I just took this as a swerve because I thought this would be coming out with Omega being the face and Hangman, because Hangman's really been pushing the heel gimmick. Or like being on kind of like the separating side of it. This just kind of took me off guard of him actually being the one to turn heel.
Yeah, dude. I'm pumped.
Next is the finals to the women's tag team tournament. The Nightmare Sisters versus Evilicia. Is that it?
Yeah.
And Diamante.
It was fine. It was okay. Like Brady Rose is getting better, but the big the big weak point with AEW is their women. So
yeah, it was a sloppy, quick match,
yeah,
and the two women who won, I don't even know them. Like there was no build for them at all in this tournament. I don't think
they were doing it on dark matches, which is kind of weird because they were trying to build it up, but they only did it on dark. So.
Yeah, don't you think you'd at least have the semi-final matches on AEW Dynamite? Like, that would have made sense to me. That way you get a little bit more. Because I didn't know who these women are. I was like, oh, so these are the ones who are losing to Rhodes. No,
yeah,
not
absolutely.
the case. Mm-hmm.
I'm with you on that one.
All right, so let's get to the main event of Dynamite, the TNT Championship match. Cody Rhodes defends his title against Brodie Lee. The bell rings, they rough and tough around, and then Brodie just kills Cody with a clothesline.
Love it. No, I love it. He ended him. This was great. This is what Brodie Lee should have been in WWE. He should have been mega pushed. This is a mega push. Cody Rhodes understands that. He takes it, and then gets put in a stretcher to sell it even more. Then Brodie Lee destroys him, dumps the old belt that he stole from Cody Rhodes, dumps it on top of him. This was great. This gives the Dark Order the mega push they needed. It's legitimately pushing Brodie Lee for like the first time. Like, this is great. I love it buried Cody Rhodes. I thought all of this was great. And yeah, the rest of the night was just like, yeah, it's an AEW show. But that ending just like catapulted it. And I was like, This is awesome. Well, you don't like cool things. So it doesn't matter, folks. It doesn't matter what Brandon has to say about it.
I thought it was fine. I liked it when they even snuffed out Brandy Road. What I didn't like is you leave Art Anderson alone. Maybe he doesn't need to be roughed and toughed.
I'm fine with it. Why not? You've watched old people get beat up in WWE. So
no,
I'm
totally fine with it. My thing is what if like Zelina Vega poisoned Cody, and that's like really how it went?
It's not how it went. They're not in the same company, Brandon. Get out of here.
No, I liked the finish, but I don't think it redeemed the rest of the night. It was still good.
Yeah, it did.
No,
yep,
all right.
It absolutely did. I don't care. You can disagree with me all you want.
Whatever, dude. So we're going to get right into NXT TakeOver Triple X, not starring Vin Diesel. First match of the night, triple threat.
Whoa! Could you slow down for a second? Can we talk about Thunderdome?
We'll talk about Thunderdome when we get to SummerSlam, because they didn't use the Thunderdome in NXT.
That threw me off. Like, they're hyping up this Thunderdome, and I'm like, okay, NXT, and then it's just a bunch of X's. And I'm like, whoa, did I go to Pornhub? Like, what's going on here? This doesn't make sense. Where's the Thunderdome? And apparently you have to be a main event roster to experience the Thunderdome.
I was really looking forward to Karrion Kross's entrance in the Thunderdome. I thought they were going to do something pretty sick. Nope, not the case. So yeah, we'll get right into the triple threat match for the number one contender for the NXT Tag Team Champions. It's Fantasma versus Brizango versus Oney Larkin and Danny Burch. This was on the pre-show. Fast-paced match, but it was only fast-paced because you put the fucking clock in the corner. We know there's only 10 minutes left, and they still got a wrap-up of promos. We know this is going to be done soon. Why not just not put a countdown down there when there's a match going on in the pre-show?
Agree. I don't have anything else to elaborate on. I agree on that point. I hate it when they do that.
Yeah, Raul Mendoza, I think, was very impressive in this match. He did a couple really cool kicks and flips that I thought were awesome. And the finish was pretty good, too. Brizango ends up winning.
Can we talk about how great it is that Fandango and, like, they won? Like, Tyler Breeze, like, they should be tag team champions. Like, main roster. But no, they got to go back in NXT and finally get a chance to show their skills. I'm sorry. This grinds my gears. These two have a good shtick. They have a good gimmick. They're good on the mic. They're entertaining, but they're also great in the ring. And for some reason, Vince is like, nope, I don't want them. We have too many tag teams in WWE as it is now. We can't fit them. That's my rant.
No, I get it. I agree. I was super excited to see Brizango win it because I thought it was going to be Phasma because they've been kind of pushing them lately on TV.
Yeah.
Next match of the actual event is Finn Balor versus Timothy Thatcher. Man, I missed this Balor. Like, this was a good Balor match. I think this was probably one of Balor's best matches in a long time.
This is what Balor's been doing in NXT. These matches he's been putting on in NXT is the Balor, the Prince, that are awesome, that are elevated, that are so good, that I didn't even know who Timothy Thatcher was. I was like, dude, are you the Rainbow Six character? Where's your EMP grenade? But no, like, I'm watching him and I'm like, dude, that guy's tooth is weird. I do think Tim Thatcher is just going to be a jobber. He's not going to go anywhere. Like, I'm sorry, that's what I got from the match.
Yeah, he's developmental for developmental.
Yeah, he's not going to do it. He's not going anywhere with that character. But the match was good. It's one of those NXT matches that you're like, yeah. Now, what I would really like to have happened, instead of Gargano being in the ladder match, I wish it was Thatcher, because I don't feel like Johnny Gargano should have been in that ladder match. And I think those two could have had a better story and a better match to kick off. And that way then you could have a ladder match with all these new guys. But that's just me.
This was a little bit more of an aggressive Balor. He did a lot more like technical moves. There wasn't a lot of showing off between either competitor. I liked this match. It was a good match, and I think that's because we got to see a little bit more of the wrestling side of Balor than the storytelling side.
But he did it against Priest too. Like, it was more hard hitting. There wasn't a lot of like cocky spots. Like, this is the Balor character that is a main event superstar. And they're not doing the stupid... Like, Balor had to have looked at him and been like, can we stop with the demon stuff? You're calling me the Demon King? No, that's not it. Right. I did that for pay-per-views as like, this is awesome. You guys took it and you're like, he's a king of demons, and buried it. Right.
Well, the one big shout-out I do like is that they gave both Tyler Breeze and Finn Balor wins on NXT 30. Like, cool props to them to be able to be a part of the big event and actually get a win tonight. Next is the ladder match for the vacant NXT Championship match. It is NXT American Championship. It's Bronson Reed versus Damian Priest versus Johnny Gargano, Cameron Grimes, and the Velveteen Dream. If there is a shortage of metal in America, it's because of Damian Priest's outfit.
Yeah, he had a lot of chainmail going on. I'm like, dude, is this guy gonna fight a dragon? Like, I don't know. But before the match, and I kind of forgot who I predicted to win. I think I said Priest. Now, folks, I could be wrong, but like, I kind of had that feeling like out of all these guys that came to the ring, he's the one that should probably have a belt on him right now, because we're not putting it on Velveteen Dream.
No.
Because of, you know. Like, we have no idea what's going on there. I saw someone posted a thing saying Touch a Teen Dream was his new name, and I'm like, so he's toast. And yeah, it was awkward watching him because I'm like, this guy's kind of a piece of shit. Like, I don't know whether to cheer for him.
If this is true,
like,
right?
But is he not guilty? Like, it was weird. Then you have the smelly guy, Cameron Grimes.
Gross.
I don't like him.
Me neither.
He's a jobber. I read him as a jobber.
Well, I don't think he knows that yet.
Gargano, I'm sick of, and then who?
See, I like this little bit with Candice LeRae. I thought that was really cool.
Hated it.
Bronson Reed comes out, dressed it up. Well, of course you hated it. You hate everything about Gargano. I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was a good way to do it. I like how he got his comeuppance with Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed was wearing the Bam Bam Bigelow outfit.
Bronson Reed!
I like Bronson Reed. I like him a lot. The last event we watched him with Tony Nese, and I thought it was a great match with him too. I think he's incredibly talented.
I think he's a little green yet. He just needs a little more time. But I do like him. Big thing I did notice in this ladder match, and I texted you this, there was a lot of standing around. When people were waiting to do spots, I caught like 5 or 6 times of people just standing there. And I'm like, you guys look really bad just standing there. Could you do something?
Right. Well, they're not only that, but they're also standing up, and it almost looks like they're talking to the developmental talent that's cheering them on.
Yeah, and I'm just like, what are you, like, Gargano had like one that I was just like, yo, what is happening with this? Yeah. Like, what are you, like, dude, you're one of the most veteran people in there, and you're just standing there. Like, do something. You like Candice LeRae? Like, I mean,
I'm not saying she's the most talented, but I liked the bit that they did with her coming out there and doing the things she did and then getting her comeuppance with having to be squashed with Bronson Reed. Like, I thought that was entertaining. It was a good way to include both of them and get them out of there. I like how with Dream, they just literally just shoved him out of the arena. They're just, we're done with you.
Yeah,
we don't need you right now.
Like, that dude took a bump. Like, he fell all the way out, and I was just like, yikes. But Priest wins. I was fine with that. I was fine with Priest winning. They had a couple too many times of like, he's so close, and then it just kept switching. Like, there was a couple times I was like, all right, like, we're going a little long. Could someone pick it, please?
I don't like Damian Priest, and him winning.
I'm not a big fan of him, but out of everyone there, he's the one that makes the most sense right now.
Yeah, maybe. I would have put it on Gargano.
No, God, no.
Hated it.
He does not need the belt. We're done.
Neither does Damian Priest.
Sorry.
Well, so Damian Priest wins, and then he ends up getting in a hot tub with the 2 women from Raw Underground.
Nice. Nice. That dude gets it. He's like, what up, Tootie Pop?
What if he would have gotten in the hot tub and then Otis cashed in?
That wouldn't happen, because Otis, I forgot he still has money in the bank, so whatever. Otis, get out of here. Don't bring that in yet.
Well, next is the heavily debated match between the two of us, Adam Cole versus Pat McAfee. Pat made fun of the business a lot, I think, but he still gave it 100 in the match.
I don't think he did. I don't think he did.
I think he made fun of it.
How? I'd like to know how you think he made fun of the business, because his mic work was cocky. It made you hate him. You were supposed to hate him as a wrestling fan.
No, his mic was great. His match was fine. I think the pageantry of it.
What Hollywood superstar would you like to, or like who out of the ordinary would come in? All of them make fun of it. Freaking Snooki? Really? Really?
No, okay. I'm not going to put Pat McAfee and Snooki on the same.
He talked smack. He put on a great match. He did moves that, I'm sorry, he was better than Dominik. I'll say it. I'll be that.
Absolutely. I'm not going to defend Dominik.
He did not grow up around the business. He goes in there and puts on a match against one of the top tier NXT stars, which I still like, Adam Cole. But it was good. And you're an Adam Cole fan, and I hate to say it, he actually like put over the fact that I'm like, Adam Cole did a good job in this.
No, I think they both did a great job.
I think he was great, and if I'm Vince, I'd sign him up. I'd give him a contract.
I think they did really good storytelling with the whole how Pat injures his feet on the steps, and still like it's a kick on Cole. Cole still not kicks out of it. Like, I didn't think they made it look like. I think the best way to say I was worried that they would make like Pat almost look superhuman in some ways because he'd just kick out of everything. But I think they did a really good job balancing it. I was impressed by Pat. I'll give you that. Like, I thought it was a good match, but I still think him as a character versus like Stephen Amell from like Arrow. I think he came out, he was all about it, and you could tell he was fully about it. And I think, and it may be just the character or the attitude of Pat. But
you just don't like his cockiness.
No, that's what it is. I just don't like it. Yeah,
yeah, that's literally what it is. But if you watch his podcast, if you watched him in the NFL, if you watched his stand up, the dude, that's him. That's his character. And I was not like a huge fan, but, and I said it on this podcast, was going in with low expectations. I don't see how this could benefit each. But now I'm looking at him like Pat McAfee should be in the WWE, and I'd be okay with it. I would be 100% on board because he's a better talker than half the people in the main roster, almost 80% of the people in NXT. He put on a great match, his first time ever. He did moves that you wouldn't believe. Like, I was caught off guard.
Oh, I was too, absolutely, because I was totally going in with this with low expectations, and I think they did really good. Even their timing was pretty good. It didn't seem like Cole was walking him along. Comparing this match to the Dominik Rollins match is like night and day, which I think is surprising because I didn't think it was going to be that way. Next is the NXT Women's Championship match. Io Shirai defends her title against Dakota Kai. You know what? Great match.
It was fine.
No screw-ups, no timing issues.
Yeah,
they were amazing.
Good. They were good
I
together.
thought they were great.
Again, I forgot that it was Tegan Knox, and I kept calling her Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai, like, and I'm just like, but Tegan's gotten better, but she needs a new ring attire or something. Like, I'm sorry, she's almost still, those two I get mixed up. And Giant Gonzalez in her corner. I mean, I think the big thing with this match was trying to set up her versus Rhea Ripley.
Which was cool. It's cool to see them stand off, but like they weren't even a part of this fucking match.
Yeah, but the match was good.
We'll move on to the next one, which is the main event. Keith Lee defends his NXT Championship against Karrion Kross. This was, I thought, a very physical match. Kross really focused on the left leg, which I thought was really cool. But anything that he was doing, Keith was just able to outpower. I thought it was really good storytelling back and forth, but I wasn't happy with the finish. I don't think Keith should have lost it. Good job, Karrion, but I still think they could have had Karrion lose, and he still looks strong, even though it's his debut match. That's not a big deal. I always go back to Brock Lesnar's return match. He lost to Cena. It doesn't matter. Brock Lesnar's still a monster.
It wasn't his debut match. It was he got pushed too quick. I think it was a lose-lose spot that they put those two in. You just put the belt on Keith Lee. So if he loses, that's where I was just like, wait, why did he lose so quick?
Right.
Like, it was almost like he just got handed the belt for a little bit and then it's done. Like, I just don't get it.
Then we find out the following night that he's going to Raw, which
Who
I think
cares?
is just salt on the wound. Like, yeah, one, don't spoil it. Let it happen. Like, surprise me with that. And two, you announcing it just makes me just like, oh man, just more bad news for Keith Lee.
And the problem is I like Cross, but I also like watching him in this match. I was just like, this is kind of sloppy. There was some sloppy parts.
Oh, absolutely.
The finish, I was just like, wait, that's it?
Yeah. Super weird finish.
And now we're hearing that he might have a shoulder injury. So Keith Lee might have lost both of his belts for nothing.
Right? Are we going to do another vacant ladder match
and
here? And
it's just like, come on. Like, I'm sorry. Yeah. I know what they were trying to do, but I just think they put those two in a bad position. Unless you were just ready, you should have just had Keith Lee go to the main roster without the belt.
Right.
Instead,
just drop both of them.
This
at the
looks
same
worse.
Time.
I think this looks bad.
Absolutely. Because you could have totally put Karrion versus anyone else.
Some people, and that's the thing, is like when you go on Twitter and you're watching, like some people are saying it might be a publicity stunt because of the timing of what happened. Like, it's just like, it doesn't look good. Keith Lee is better than this. He is a champion, and he should have held that belt at least for like 3 months.
I agree. I think they should have had him drop, if they were really focusing on putting him up on the main event, the one thing they should have done is had him drop both titles at the same time when he comes up to Raw. Put him in a title match, and that's why he drops it. He doesn't even have to be a world title match. You could drop both those. And then because it's NXT 30, you should have taken like 4 or 5 of the best men who have wrestled since NXT's beginning and put them up to the title for a vacated title. I think it would have added more to the event. But yeah, and the other thing is I almost wonder if Karrion was just already injured and asked to just end the match right then and there, and that's why we got that quick finish.
Well, did you see they were talking in the corner?
Yeah, and I would almost, if that was the case, if I was Keith, I would have taken the win myself. You know, like I would, if he knows he's injured.
I don't know. It was just an awkward finish, and the problem is like that sucks because Karrion Kross is super cool, and I see him being like a big time player down the road. Hopefully, I'm still the NXT, they're probably getting buried guy. But, like, he's good, and I thought it watered down, like, the aura of him because of just everything that transpired. Because I was mad. I wanted Keith Lee to hold the belt for a long time. Or just put him, he should have been in the main roster after Survivor Series. Because no one was hotter than Keith Lee.
What if Otis would have cashed in, Pete?
Shut up.
No, seriously. Like, what if he would have became NXT champion right now?
Ugh. Ugh.
All right. Well, let's get right into SummerSlam. SummerSlam kicks off with, we find out that this is Renee Young's last WWE event. Renee Young, you will be missed.
Yeah, I really like her, but, I mean, makes sense, right? Like, it makes sense she's leaving.
It makes sense. Yeah. Conflict of interest.
So good for you, Renee. Even though you probably don't listen to us, but if so, we'll miss you.
Hey, yeah, we'll miss you. Welcome on the show anytime, Renee.
Yeah.
We'll get into the first match, which was on the pre-show. It was the United States Championship match. The champion Apollo Crews versus MVP. You know what? This was a pretty good match. I liked it. It was pretty good as far as pre-show standards, I guess.
It was fine. Like, pre-show matches are just fine. Like, they're never groundbreaking. I think the other biggest part was probably against, the Thunderdome.
Oh, yeah. The Thunderdome.
The Thunderdome. So, Apollo Crews wins. Neat. Then I actually, sat and stared at the Thunderdome. I'm like, oh my God. So, basically, they took the idea of the NBA, and I don't know if they made it better because the lighting is kind of in the back of the ring, so it kind of looks weird because, when you got the crowd, there's, the lights are dim behind the ring. So it's not as bright, and they got these blue lights. It just kind of is, the lighting's throwing me off a little bit.
I'm refreshed by the Thunderdome.
I do like it more.
I thought and it might just be because you might be used to how the dark arena used to be, because you notice NXT is darker than how a normal NXT match is or event is. But having the lights, having the fake cheers in the background, the screens are not distracting at all.
No,
I generally, this gets me pumped to watch wrestling again. After we finish recording here, I'm probably going to go watch Raw because I generally am back into watching wrestling because I couldn't do it with the old production.
Yeah, so Thunderdome, is an improvement. It just needs to fine-tune a couple things. That's what I'm saying. Like, and also, like, you know, the best part about the Thunderdome is all the lights. And you know what the lights do?
Oh my god.
They glow. You know what I would love to see? Feel the glow.
Bring it to the flow.
But let's be real, there's only 4 women on the roster, so we'll never
that's
see
all we get. Speaking of women, let's get right into the first match. It's the SmackDown Women's match. It's Bayley defends her title against Asuka. A quick match with Bayley just winning the roll-up. What a mess, dude.
Couple spots were neat, like the DDT and outside.
The DDT was cool.
There was a couple cool moves that was like, oh! But then you just saw it coming. You saw what was happening, you knew it was going to happen, and it just, like, took all the excitement out. And I don't know why, but, like, when I watch an NXT event, or even AEW, like, I don't see things coming. Like, Brodie Lee I could see winning. I didn't see him winning like that. And that's neat, and that's why I get hyped.
Exactly.
When Asuka loses to Bayley with Sasha Banks on the outside, I'm just like, okay, we know down the road it's going to be Sasha v. Bayley. All right? There's going to be a belt. And it's not going to be Sasha. She's going to have to win the belt because she's going to become the face, and Bayley's just going to keep being the heel because right now it makes the most sense.
Oh, absolutely. That's why Bayley is getting the TV time with Sasha being in the background and not getting as much mic work, because we know the other shoe is going to drop soon, and it's going to be the Bayley show, or the Sasha show.
Exactly. So with that being said, it's just kind of like, I saw this coming. I knew Bayley was going to win, so like I wasn't too invested into this match. It's a bummer because I really like Asuka.
Dude, what if Otis would have cashed in?
Shut up with this.
Next is the Raw Tag Team Championship match. The Street Profits put their titles against Andrade and Angel Garza, and KO was on commentary, but no Bianca Belair, which I thought was weird.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. Like this 50-50 booking with Bianca Belair. Like I just don't.
Here
like,
she
is she in it?
Now she's
or
not
she
here.
Not?
Now she's in it. Now she's not.
Now, granted, tonight on Monday Night Raw, because I do have it on, folks, they're doing a woman's lumberjack match, and I think Bianca Belair is going to be a part of it. So we'll see if maybe something comes about.
Wow,
of that.
she might be.
She
a
might
lumberjack.
stand on the outside. So go Bianca.
Yeah, so Street Profits, they end up retaining. Montez Ford's frog splash, dude.
It's so good.
It's so good. He might have one of the better frog splashes out there right now. And which is surprising how tall he is.
Yeah, it's so good. I dig it. Like, Montez Ford is a lot of fun to watch. The match was good. Nothing big. Nothing crazy.
Right.
Selena Vega gets involved. You knew that was going to come.
Happens.
You know, and you're seeing this anger between Andrade and Angel, and I'm just like, why? Why? These guys would be fine. Just have them work together.
Exactly.
This would be such a good team and such a good stable. Just leave them. WWE's like, nope, we need drama.
We need a singles run. We need both of them to have a singles run,
Yeah,
but only one of them can have it.
More singles.
So next is a no DQ match. Sonya Deville versus Mandy Rose. Loser leaves WWE. This was supposed to be a hair match. I did read reports today that saying that Deville's lawyer had stepped in and said, you know, she's doing this whole court thing with this stalker thing. It doesn't look good if she shows up one day with hair and the next day without hair. So apparently she was going to be the one to take the fall and shave her head, which I kind of assumed so anyways. But she loses. She's leaving the WWE. I assume this is just because they're going to let her have time off because of this whole court thing, and she'll be back.
It's kind of really hard to rate this match because we know what's going on, so it's like kind of hard for us to be like, yo, like Mandy Rose can't set a table up, you know, like it was a no DQ match, but it was all in the ring, and you know my thing, I hate no DQ matches when they're just doing regular moves, and I was just like, there's something off with this. Something doesn't seem right. All the reports came out, and I was just like, you know, Sonya, go fix this. Like, I kind of feel bad that you had to still wrestle after almost being kidnapped.
I liked it. I thought they did use like quite a few different weapons. They used like the chair. Mandy did jump off the table at one point. But next, man, Seth Rollins versus Dominik Mysterio in a street fight match.
I'm sorry. I'll take the hate mail. I thought this was bad.
This was real bad, dude.
Dominik, dude. Why are you wearing a hood? He kept flopping his hood back, and I'm like, oh, he's actually going to wear that throughout the whole match. I don't get it. Now, granted, the pressure on his shoulders to perform with Rey Mysterio as your father, and this is your first match going against one of the top guys. Like, that's a lot to put on that kid.
Yeah, but also, like, he's raised by Rey Mysterio. Like, I thought he'd have a little bit more training than this, unless he just decided, like, 6 months ago, hey, Dad, I think I want to be a wrestler.
You know, to make it like a big old, I don't know, family thing, the mom was there, which I was like, why?
It almost looked like it was their first day of school. Like, my
Yeah.
Facebook is just filled with kids' first day of school pictures.
And also, Dominik is telling Ray, like, hey, man, I'll do it myself. Nah, if that was my kid,
Yeah.
I'd kill you, Seth. Like, you know, like, we're going to be throwing fists, and Ray, Dom's like, no! And then I'm like, oh, yeah, wrestling's fake. I don't get the timing of this match. I don't get why this is still going on. And it was just announced tonight that we're going to get Rey Mysterio and Dom versus Buddy Murphy and Seth Rollins. And I'm just like, why is this still going on? Can we put these guys in something new? And if you really
the Performance Center.
Put Dom over some other way. I'm sorry. I just picture the kid that Eddie Guerrero was trying to claim.
Right? Well, I was kind of like hopeful. I was like, maybe this is like the big moment. We'll see this really cool, like he'll just come out of nowhere with all these elaborate moves, but not the case. The other thing that was confusing was they first advertised that Ray's going to be ringside. Then Dominik tells him, I don't want you ringside. Then they do the promo before it, which says he's going to be ringside, and then he ends up coming out being ringside. None of it was back and forth the whole time. The handcuffing Rey Mysterio so he could watch the pinfall. Oof.
Yeah. And then I do have to say, I'm not a big kendo stick fan, but these guys actually were like laying it into each other.
Oh,
like
I
usually
know.
the kendo sticks are such like light taps, but these ones I was like, they're going back with welts. Ugh!
Yeah, so Dominik does not win this. Rollins just destroys him. I don't know how they're going to come back with this.
Yeah, I don't know what you're gonna do with Dominik. Like, I just don't see what this is doing. He's probably the leader of Retribution.
Right? That was the thing I was waiting for. Because Retribution didn't even show up at all at the
Dude,
event.
it was
They've
past
been on
their
every
best
single
time.
show.
It was past their, they can't do it.
I think they signed up for the streaming so they could watch it, and they didn't get the invite.
Oh.
Next is the Raw Women's Championship match. Sasha Banks defends her title against Asuka. Sasha taps. Asuka is now Raw Women's Champion.
Yep.
So,
But like we said in the first match, you kind of saw that coming. You knew it was going to happen, and you see the fallout starting to form even more. But also, chalk it up to another Sasha Banks had the belt and didn't get one defense in. How many times is this woman going to get that title belt? And then WWE be like, well, you're losing it next week. And it's like, excuse me?
oh, sorry, what?
The only problem is this is the time she lost her championship that makes sense, you know? But they did it so many times before that I'm just like, weird.
Super weird. What if Otis would have cashed in, bud?
Shut up.
Next is the WWE Championship. Drew McIntyre puts his title on the line against Randy Orton. I didn't mind this match, but I hated the finish.
No, the match was good.
Another roll-up.
Another roll-up. And that's the tone that WWE set. Like Bayley with the surprise roll-up. And I'm just like, we are so over surprise roll-ups, WWE. Can you just let a finish work?
Right.
I get it because they're trying to do Orton still looks strong because he just got caught quick. But again, we're so over seeing something that when they want to do it, when it makes sense, we're just like, ugh.
Exactly. Because a roll-up means there's more to the story that we don't want to see.
Yeah.
You know? Are we going to get another Drew versus Orton match?
But the match was good. Like, it was hard-hitting. There were some big moves, like, the Tree of Woe grabbing the head and chucking him over.
Was sick.
I was like, that's awesome.
Right?
Like I told you, like, once you see something for so many times, when you actually want it to work, people are, like, over it. And that's poor writing.
Yeah, I agree. You should have just given it to Otis.
Shut up.
Final match of the night. The Universal Championship match. Braun Strowman finally defends his title against the Fiend, Bray Wyatt. Again, no Alexa Bliss. I really feel like a lot of these matches are missing half of their element.
They're missing
Retribution,
right?
no Bianca Belair, no Alexa Bliss. Like, these are big hot topics, and they don't even use them.
They put them into the story to build up to ththese matches, and they're like, you sit out. Like, what? Wait, I thought I was a part of this. Nope, you're out. Match is good. Like, it was hard-hitting. The Fiend, I still think is cool, even though he's kind of been watered down a little bit. I thought Braun Strowman was going to stab him. Like, he pulls out a box cutter.
Right?
I'm
The
like,
knife?
he's straight up
What
going
is
to
that
kill
about?
him. Yeah, like, he pulls out a box cutter, and then he does Sister Abigail on it twice, which I dug, because then it shows, like, he actually really meant to end him. And then, dun, dun, dun.
Bum, bum, ba-da-dum.
No, that's Brock, dude.
Oh, yeah.
No, wait.
Been too long.
Dun, dun,
Dun,
dun,
the
dun,
big dog. Which, so, SummerSlam's tagline was, "You'll never see it coming," and I think they should change it to, "We should have seen it coming."
Yeah, after they said it 100 times in the first match, yeah, I'm sure something's gonna happen in the main event, and here comes Roman Reigns, which, good. As
He's
weird
not
as that
heel.
is, like, I don't think he's heel. Some people think he is. I mean, he might go heel on his dentist, because his teeth,
God. Those teeth, dude.
they look super fake.
I had to turn lights on because I was getting a glare in my house.
I thought it was a mouthpiece. But honestly, WWE needs him back right now. Like, they need that other guy.
Well, it was obvious that the Superdome was made because they were tired of holding back on Roman
The
Reigns.
Thunderdome.
What did I say?
Superdome.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It's
You just
nowhere
Hulk
as
Hogan'd
big
it.
Is the Thunderdome. The
We're here at the
Silverdome.
Silverdome. No, we aren't. Anyways, it's good that he's back. He's a good tool for WWE right now. They do need him. He's a star. But that also goes to WWE just being like, "Oh, we don't have Roman. We don't know how to make other stars." Like,
we're back on track for it to be the Roman show.
Yep.
I don't think this is a heel. I just see as them just revamping him as more of a quote unquote badass character. Kind of maybe using some of the stuff that they did for Dean and Dean Ambrose and revamping him into Roman Reigns.
Exactly, and this is what works with Roman Reigns: talk short, kick ass.
Yep. Which of these three events you got to grade them in order, Pete? From best to worst. What do you think?
I'm still gonna go AEW,
I knew
NXT,
you would.
WWE. I'm sorry, I'm a huge Brodie Lee fan. Like, I love it, and that right there alone was enough to really make it better. Plus, the Mimosa match I think is gonna be great.
It's gonna be great.
I liked FTR versus Private Party. I like Kenny Omega turning heel. Like, I'm sorry, there was more elements in AEW that surprised me, and I liked it. AEW for me won.
I'm going to go with NXT as one. I think they did really good. And then it's a hard one for me between both WWE and AEW. Like, AEW, I feel like just should have done more because it was going to be an event. And I get what you mean with the main event. But everything else, like, there was nobodies in the tournament other than Brandy Rose. Everything else was just, there was more promos and there were matches in the night. And with WWE, everything was no DQ or no holds barred or no false count everywhere. Everything felt like a hardcore
ending
match.
Is what you
no,
meant
and
to
there was
say.
no good ending. So I kind of want to just say NXT's the winner, and WWE and AEW can continue to fight over this week.
But you also need to remember with AEW, it was just a regular Dynamite that was supposed to be on Wednesday.
Is they should have made it bigger because
and they
it was
moved
Saturday.
it to Saturday because of the NBA playoffs. So remember that aspect. Just remember that. Which means you're having a hard time deciding for a regular wrestling TV show and a pay-per-view that we're supposed to be all hyped for.
Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, I see what you mean. But that's the thing that I think that's my biggest criticism with Dynamite is that they knew this was going to be on Saturday night. They should have done something more to make... Because I watched AEW last. I watched NXT first. Well, Pete, who is your dud of the week?
Ooh, there's a lot.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of duds. I don't know. God. Otis?
He wasn't even on here. I thought you were going to give it to Dominik.
He was on to celebrate Mandy. Runs out with his money in the bank. Forgot he still had it. I'm sorry. I feel like Otis is a dud, and I feel like him having the money in the bank is completely pointless, and it's not doing anything for Money in the Bank, and no one feels threatened, and no one's really worried. And when people say, like, oh, he's just waiting in the walls, like, no, he isn't. Like, they don't have a plan for Otis. They just were like, Otis is going to win. Sorry. No, Otis is the dud.
I'm going to go with Dominik Mysterio. I thought he was probably the biggest dud. Yeah. Well, it's tough. I almost went with Keith Lee because last event he walked out with 2 belts, and then this event he walks out with none.
I think you're putting a lot on Dominik. Like, I understand. Like, I wanted to call him a dud, but you went full heel today. Like, you're the heel.
I did. Yep. I just thought, like, if you're going to be in that kind of a match and you got Rey Mysterio as your father, you might be able to outperform Pat McAfee. Stud of the week?
Pat Mac.
Oh, man, he's doing it.
I'm doing it. Like, I'm sorry. Low expectations. Had no idea if he had any wrestling, like, any of a wrestling background. And he surprised me. Like, he was really good. Like,
yeah, all right.
Yeah, he would be the stud. I don't see anyone else who shined more or had more of a wow factor than Pat Mac and Adam Cole's match out of the whole week.
I'm going to go with Renee Young. Good for you, Renee. I think you did really good in the business, and you're really going to be missed. So, give it to you. Well, hey, man, that is the Full Nelson Press, episode 87. It is a wrap. If you enjoyed our witty banter on sports entertainment, follow the Full Nelson Press on Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Hey, we just hit 5,000 followers on our Facebook page. Yeah, so come find us. We're on everything. Just search the Full Nelson Press on whatever social media you're on, and you'll find us, I guarantee. Or, yeah, we're also on Spotify and iTunes, so if you don't want to watch just the video portion, we're there too. What have you been playing, Pete?
We've been playing Grounded, and I've been playing Road Company still. So we downloaded Battletoads, so we're going to give that a try. And I am actually downloading Destiny.
And Untitled Goose Game.
Oh, we got to get that going.
Yeah. So where can they find you, Pete?
You can find me on YouTube, Pete84. That's usually where I'm at. I've been posting videos. Now, granted, I haven't had any cool videos to record, so I need to get better. But there's some out there right now.
Well, go watch his uncool videos.
Yeah.
Go watch some wrestling.
Yeah, bet.